A pleasant day to everyone and welcome to the presentation of Group Y1 in EDS 106, Language, Culture, and Education. For this video, our group will be investigating the various thriving and dying languages in the Philippines, discussing their influence and the importance of linguistics and culture in Philippine education. To achieve this, we begin by analyzing and scrutinizing the insights from two readings. Lessons from these readings taught us that language is not as simple as a tool for communication, but a complex system of gestures, sounds, and symbols with meanings decided upon by a whole society. Studying Philippine linguistics can help us understand the mechanics of our languages, how they change over time, and their relationship with culture and human development. These lessons and more will be discussed with further depth throughout the video.
And now, let's proceed with understanding linguistics and cultural diversity. Linguistics is the study of language and how it connects to human life. It's central to culture because language carries our ideas, emotions, and traditions. And without it, we wouldn't be able to share our knowledge or build meaningful relationships. Language reveals a lot about who we are. It reflects our identity, background, and even our social differences through the way we speak, the words we choose, and the gestures we use. And as time goes on, languages naturally change. But when certain languages are no longer used or valued, they can slowly disappear. That's why understanding how language works is the key to protecting cultural diversity.
In Section 3 of our written synthesis, our group explains that language inclusion is essential for both development and learning. Communities can only grow when people understand and can participate in what's happening around them. UNESCO emphasizes that if critical information, like health guidance or advice in escaping poverty, is delivered in a language people don't fully understand, it is essentially useless. Language also plays a key role in achieving development goals, such as fighting poverty and improving health, because it supports culture, identity, and meaningful participation. In the Philippines, the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 established a mother tongue-based multilingual education program, which requires early grade instructions in learners' first languages, helping them understand lessons better and connect with their community.
Thriving and dying languages in the Philippines. Some languages in the Philippines are thriving, like Filipino, Cebuano, Ilocano, and Hiligaynon, as they are widely spoken in huge areas in the country, which helps them to stay strong up until today. On the other hand, many indigenous languages are endangered. According to the Komisyon sa Wikang Filipino, 39 out of 135 indigenous languages are now at risk of extinction. One example here is Higaonon. Language vitality depends on many factors. If a language is used in education, daily life, and even in online, it's more likely to survive. But if it's pushed aside by dominant languages and not passed on to children, it can fade away. That's why programs like mother tongue based multilingual education are important as they help our local languages, especially here in the Philippines, where we have over 180 to take care of.
Reflection and educational implications. In our globalized modern world, social pressures like migration, urbanization, and better opportunities force people to put aside their mother tongues in exchange for the more commonly used languages. This language loss can also lead to an individual's loss of identity and reduced learning ability. On the other hand, providing multilingual learning in a cultural melting pot like the Philippines enables not only the majority of students but also the diminishing and endangered minority equal chances to learn and develop themselves with their own cultural identity intact. This can be done through allowing students to express themselves and learn however they want, proper policy implementations, reinforced teacher training, the diversification of learning materials, and most importantly, a strong political will to enact transformation.
In Section 6, our conclusion and recommendations, we highlight that language is a tool for communication, cultural identity, social equity, and education. Thriving languages dominate because of widespread use, while many indigenous languages are endangered due to educational, social, and technological pressures. To sustain language vitality, our group recommends fully implementing MTB-MLE, training teachers in local languages, respecting all dialects, and encouraging students to preserve their mother tongues. If language is the key to inclusion, removing mother tongues from schools locks the door of learning for the most vulnerable children. A truly developed nation must guide change in a way that allows people to engage with the world without losing their identity.